two things on this cabinet matters, maybe three. Number one, I fully support Pete Hegseth. I think they're trying to destroy him and his reputation. They smell blood in the water now that Gates has stepped out. And this is the way the Democrats and the media work. Hegseth would be a fantastic Secretary of Defense. I hope he stays the course. I hope he continues to get the backing that he needs. He will from me, and no, I've not spoken to him. I've not spoken to him. Now, FBI Director Mike Rogers, the gentleman who lost the Senate race in Michigan, gentleman who was in the House for a very long time, Mike Rogers is exactly what Donald Trump ran against. He's a quintessential Republican establishmentarian. Among other things, he didn't want to come on this program and talk to you folks, conservatives out there. That's not the reason I have problems with him. The reason is he will disappoint the president. He's another Christopher Wray type. And so I can't support a Mike Rogers for FBI director. I can support a Kash Patel. Now, they say he's controversial. Now, what did I say the other day? Anytime you nominate a conservative, they're said to be controversial. They're said to be controversial. And I would say to the media out there, how come you didn't pursue Dougie Emhoff? Allegations of his law firm, of which he headed in L.A., of sexual harassment, allegations in his case of slamming a woman. How come that was a non-issue? I'm just curious. How come that was a non-issue? How come it was a non-issue for Bill Clinton to get the nomination and win the Democrat Party primary when there were allegations, legitimate, women coming forward of rape, molestation, sexual harassment throughout his time as Attorney General and Governor of Arkansas? That didn't seem to be a big issue. I'm not a big Matt Gaetz fan. You folks know I never have been. That's not my point. My point is I want Donald Trump to get the people he wants. The people he wants. But I will remind the media of a very distasteful fact. But history is history, and I don't choose to rewrite it. And that is that when John Kennedy was president of the United States, ready for this, Mr. Producer? Ready for this, media? He apparently had sex with an underage intern in the White House swimming pool on more than one occasion, and encouraged one of his aides to do the same thing. I don't like thinking about it. I don't like talking about it. But the Democrat Party goes low, and they go low all the time. And this isn't a defense of Matt Gaetz. This is an effort to expose the Democrat Party for what it is. The Democrat Party has no morality. They don't care about any of this stuff. The border's wide open. Women are being sold into sex slavery. Little kids are being sold into sex slavery. Women are missing. Kids are missing. Do they seem concerned about it? No. No, they don't. But Mike Rogers is, at least from my perspective, and I haven't said this about anybody, a firm no for FBI director. Pete Hegseth would be a fantastic Secretary of Defense. That's why they don't want. By the way, who is this senator from North Dakota? What the hell is his name? From North Dakota. He's walking around like he owns the country. I forget his name. Doesn't really matter. Some Republic. Kramer. That's it. Kevin Kramer. He's like walking around telling everybody who's in, who's out, who's in. Did somebody elect him president of the United States? Was he even up for the Senate this last time? I don't think he was. You don't hear from that jackass. Who cares what he thinks? I certainly do not. Here's Pete Hegseth. He's approached on Capitol Hill. Put a microphone in his face. Cut 3, go.
As far as the media is concerned, I'll keep this very simple. The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Okay. No. We're not going to leave it there. We smell blood in the water. Let's take out Hegseth. The people who want to take out Hegseth don't care about any women or anything like that, the allegations, the falsity, whatever it is. They don't want Hegseth there to reform the Pentagon. That's why they don't want him there. It's that simple. They don't want him there to reform the Pentagon. It's that simple. The federal contractors, the special interests, the member of the House and the Senate, they like what's going on. So keep that in mind, too. Then we're told by the miscreants and malcontents, the reprobates in the Democrat Party, that Donald Trump didn't win a mandate. We hear this from Wasserman Schultz, that little puke. They go to the same Democrats, Eric Swalwell, who should be in prison, in my humble opinion, for sleeping with a communist Chinese spy while he was in key positions in the House of Representatives. How did he slip through that, Mr. Producer? I just wonder how. I see Bill Clinton has a book coming out, and he's doing a lot of interviews, but of course they're not going to ask him to go down memory lane when it comes to sexual assault and so forth. Why would they do such a thing? No. So it's very distasteful. But this is where the Democrats drag us. Just remember the hearings with Clarence Thomas. That's where they went. And not for something completely different and extremely important. There's something called the International Criminal Court. It's got 3 judges. They head judges from France. That ought to tell you a lot. France has basically thrown in with the Islamists. Their immigration policies have destroyed their country. The chief rabbi in France has told the Jews to get the hell out of there, and he says there won't be a Jew left there in 10 years. The chief prosecutor of the ICC has problems with sexual harassment. He's under investigation. He's a pervert, among other things. I hear his brother is too, but what do I know? There was no investigation done in the state of Israel. There were no interviews taken. There were no on-site visits, which is what the prosecution for the ICC is supposed to do. And even more than that, they have no jurisdiction over Israel, just like they have no jurisdiction over the United States. Sovereign countries have to agree that the ICC will have jurisdiction over them. We have not, Israel has not, and a handful of other countries have not. So this is a rogue court filled with Jew-hating anti-Semites. That's what it is. Iran has helped fund the complaint that was filed against Netanyahu and Gallant, the former Minister of Defense. Iran. Through South Africa. South Africa, the government of South Africa is notoriously anti-Semitic. So the whole thing's a setup. Now, the Republican House of Representatives passed a bill that would severely sanction the ICC. Chuck Schumer, we're told the first Jewish majority leader in the history of the Senate, is busy unjewing himself, you see, because he wouldn't take up the bill. The bill passed in the House of Representatives has been pushed mostly by Gentiles to defend the state of Israel. The man leading the Democrats in the Senate is Jewish, and of course, he's throwing in with the anti-Semites. Now, I pointed out to you last night, 18 of these Senate Democrats voted to withhold $20 billion in arms sales that Congress already passed, Biden already signed, while the same administration has given about $200 billion either directly or refusing to enforce sanctions on Iran, and Iran's given that to its terrorist surrogates. We're still funding UNRWA. We're still funding the Palestinian Authority, terrorist operations. And yet 18 Democrat senators did this yesterday after the election. They wanted to wait. And so the ICC saw this, and they said, now's our turn. So what did they do? They actually issued criminal arrest warrants against Netanyahu and this guy Gallant, the former defense minister. Arrest warrants. That means every country in the entire universe, the entire world, that has signed on with the ICC is expected to arrest Netanyahu if he enters their country, including France, which said they would, including Canada. Trudeau said today he would arrest Netanyahu too. We're going to take a break. I want you to hear Netanyahu's response to this because it's outrageous. And the Republican leadership in the Senate, John Thune, has been very good. Said, we're going to fight this damn thing as soon as we get control of the Senate. The Speaker of the House has been outstanding. Same thing. Donald Trump has been outstanding. Same thing. So have his putative appointees. Biden puts out a statement and does nothing. The Democrat Party does nothing.